So business then with Stephen. You just saw him sneaking in on set there. The Prime Minister in the UK joining the campaign. No, not in the UK, in France, in fact. Joining the campaign for businesses who might want to leave London to come here to Paris.
It'd be very worrying if it was the other way around.
It would, wouldn't it?
Paris is jostling with other European cities, including Dublin and Frankfurt, to replace London as Europe's financial capital. But high taxes and strict labour laws may put employers off moving jobs to France. The French government is trying to dispel that image by extending special tax discounts for workers moving from abroad, I should say, as well as cutting corporation tax. Let's listen to some of the sales pitch we got from the Prime Minister of France, Manuel Valls.
The French economy is attractive. I want it to be even more, for foreign talent and also for French talent who wish to come back and be better accommodated. We want to move fast. I've decided to put in place a one-stop entry point for all foreign companies who wish to set up in France.
We'll have plenty more on that story and whether Paris's ambitions are realistic in our business programme. People in Profit, which airs today at 16:45 Paris time.
Very well worth a watch. Thank you, Stephen. Staying in France, the government has scrapped a plan to cut spending.
Yeah, France has been somewhat the problem child of Europe when it comes to its budget. It's been given 3 extensions by the European Commission in recent years to bring its budget deficit below the legal limit of 3%. The French president had made a big promise to cut spending by €50 billion by 2017, but the country now looks to spend almost €7 billion more than that, as Delano de Souza now explains.
It was among the big pledges of the Hollande administration, a promise to reduce public spending by €50 billion over 3 years.
Between 2015 and 2017, we'll save more than 50 billion. It's a lot, and it's never been done.
The government is now abandoning this target after increasing spending in several areas. They include €2 billion to ramp up security in the wake of deadly terror attacks in Paris in 2015, €2 billion to encourage hiring, and a further €3 billion on education. Despite the overshoot in public spending, France is still on track to reduce its budget deficit in 2017. After numerous extensions from Brussels, it will be the first time the country adheres to EU standards since 2007 by dropping the deficit to below 3%. That's been made possible by lower borrowing costs for the French government, a clampdown on tax evasion, and shifting the costs of a planned €5 billion tax credit to companies into the following financial year. In the run-up to next year's election, President Hollande has promised more tax cuts for middle-class households. Finance Minister Michel Sapin is set to unveil the last budget of this presidential term at the end of the summer.
Take a look at what's happening in the markets next for you. We've got European shares opening up after the recent losses that we've seen. Shares moving away from their recent losing streak, helped by a rise in oil prices and some positive economic data from the United States. You can see London, Paris and Frankfurt there, all up by almost 1%. In Asia, it was a slightly more mixed picture. The Nikkei in Tokyo finishing the day down 2/3 of 1%, while the Shanghai Composite was up slightly this after, over fears, I should say, that they're hoping to get more stimulus from the Chinese government. Well, some more of the day's business headlines for you next. A high-profile case involving a spate of suicides at a French state-owned company could be going to trial. France Telecom, now called Orange, is under formal investigation for psychological bullying over the deaths. The Paris prosecutor has sent the case against the company and 3 of its former executives to a magistrate who will decide whether it will go forward for trial. The French food giant Danone is to buy the American beverage group White Wave for $12.5 billion. It's the biggest acquisition by the yogurt maker since current boss Emmanuel Faber took over in 2014. Danone shares opening up almost 4% in Paris. And Samsung is expected to have its most profitable quarter in 2 years because of the success of its S7 line of smartphones. In a preview of its earning figures, the South Korean firm said operating income was up 17% on the previous year. It's a much more optimistic view than Samsung had earlier, as they've capitalised on a slowdown in iPhone sales.
Now, finally, Microsoft has ended a little bit embarrassed. This is after trying, anyway, to act cool and down with the kids.
This story comes from an email that was sent by a Microsoft recruiter, apparently to a prospective intern. Now, it's an invitation to a party, but it falls a little bit short of the mark. It was published on Twitter by using language like there will be hella noms, lots of drinks, the best beats, and some beer pong. As well. They refer to at the end of it getting lit on a Monday night. Now, as you can imagine, the internet had a field day with this email. Microsoft actually apologised for it later, saying that it was poorly worded and not in keeping with our values as a company. They were looking into how it occurred and will take appropriate steps to address it.
I'm a dinosaur. What is a beer pong table?
Beer pong is a game where you have to throw ping pong balls into...
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. We could get one here. We could do it.
That is a terrible idea.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
For this hour of the morning.
Maybe a little later on. We'll play off air.